Oh, I love that Morse code thing. Anyways, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, I guess, as well. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Harro, Bosma. Oh, it's rain, 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 but not as bad as down south, I guess. Yeah, we've been getting a heck of a lot of rain as well, Harro, Bosma. It's not funny. Doesn't bother me all that much, but today it looks like a lovely day. I think we're supposed to get to about 24 or 25 degrees. I think afterwards, well, after the live stream, I'm probably going to go have a little bit of a bite to eat and then zip off to the hobby store. I really do want to go and grab that World War I tank model that I saw a couple of weeks ago. I think it's a Mark I female or something, so not one of the great whatever. I'll be honest with you, I kind of like the look of the German tanks. Oh, good morning, Meandering Mike. Great to see you. Yeah, I was actually watching a YouTube video last night, one of the history World War I uncut or something. Things so like they have like 7 or 8 minute videos or whatever, and they did one of the tank bits of the tank thing, and kind of actually I think the best looking tanks for me were the French ones, but they were saying they broke down every 5 freaking seconds. But I don't know how in the hell they got anybody honestly to go in those tanks. The guy was saying that they often had to be hospitalized after a shift, and I was just like, you got to be nuts. Anyways, that's it. Great to see you guys. What the heck was start off with? First off, I've left the windows and the doors open in the back, so let me know if it gets a bit too loud or what have you. It's just I'm letting Leo Puss there. He's sunning himself out in the back thing, and I'm like, oh, just let the poor guy have a good time. I'll go through a little bit of the comments at the very beginning if you guys didn't get to see what Charles Latora is up to. It sounds like Charles Latora may have a good weekend ahead of him, or at least the Saturday. Seems like he's got the house to himself. So I don't know what he's going to get up to. Maybe, Charles, you'll let us know what the heck you're doing there. He's just saying that, yeah, more or less his family's screwing off to Tijuana and whatnot. So good on you, man. I hope you get the rest, and Lord knows what else. Oh, on a side note, Meandering Mike. Well, 2 things. I'm glad I just remembered this one. I was watching your video. I'm not sure if it was darn it. I'm not sure if it was the unboxing video. I'm also glad that you pronounced the word, I'm not going to say it again properly, but I would have said ravers or something. And you were saying it's reavers or something, or of course, you're not going to be able to pronounce it for me on this thing. But anyways, it was that a USB chargeable lamp that you were talking that you had? You were saying something about, oh, it wasn't very bright. You were going to move it around. Please let me know, because I'd like to get one. There's a section off here that I would like to. I don't have a plug near it. And on a second note, you were mentioning there with your terrain stuff and the trees. Oops, I shouldn't put stuff near the microphone. Hold on here. That you're trying to figure out ways of getting the trees to stand up and whatnot. This is I don't think they use this, but this is an idea I stole from Little Wars TV. I just bought these things at the dollar store. They're just like interlockable foam thingamajigs. Reavers, thank you, Scottish. It's a wonderful looking cover, man. I just like those types of covers where I find I can fill in the blanks story wise, and that's like I'm in. Anyways, these things I got at the dollar store. They're interlockable foam things, but they work wonderfully if you put like a pin or whatever under, like in the base of the trees, and that way you can just, because you were saying you don't want it, you wanted something temporary. You're not going to have like doing a diorama. Anyways, you just stick them in, and then obviously you'd put your terrain cloth or whatever on top. Charles Latora, I did a quick tour video of my room in its current condition, but I may have to redo since I didn't have volume turned up. Oh my God. Well, I've I've done that 4 trillion times. That for flipping sure. Anyways, yeah. So I thought maybe you guys want you may consider that idea. Okay, let's start off with the history heroes thingamajig. I will say this as well. I'm all over the place, and I don't want to bang on about it, but well, I do kind of have to bang on about it because it is an important thing for me. I was at the point, I think, last night and then back up this morning, was thinking, okay, this is probably going to be the second last episode of my live streams, just because, and I think what it is in the long run, I just have to realize, stop taking myself or taking this so freaking seriously. That's what it, for me personally, that's what it is, I think. I want to do a really darn good job, but the thing is, I also have to know that don't bite off more than I can chew until I learn how to do certain things properly. I'm not like, for example, I didn't go to broadcasting school and a zillion other things. So relax, don't take things so seriously and go from there. Because I really do enjoy interacting with you guys. And for example, even like I'm telling you, Harro, Bosma, just seeing, I'm not, like I've said before, it's not about number of viewers or whatever, but just even seeing you popping up because you're not 100% regular, you're turning into one. But, to see you say, hey, hi there before the stream popped up, I was like, oh, maybe this is, these things are of value and so on and so forth. But anyways, let's just, like I said, I'm just got to learn to not take these things so freaking seriously. So I'll get to the history heroes and then we'll go off to this other stuff. So today, if we do get to it, will be the actual last episode last episode for Callendale. Harro, Bosma, love to interact more, usually driving. Okay. And I'll be honest with you, Harro, Bosma, it's partially as well due to the fact that, this, and that's why I'm still got to, weave and learn about this, is that it could be me in the sense of the way I'm structuring the live stream, that I'm not making it very interactive for the viewer. That's a possibility as well. I've got to, it's like, okay, like I said, I got to live and learn here or whatever. So this is the last episode of the Callendale playthrough. I think he's in October 1917, pretty darn sure. And then the next episode for him would be his review. And I'm telling you, when it gets to that review bit, I want that front and center. Like I've said before, he was extremely, just amazing that he said, yeah, go for it. You can pop my videos on. And that really set the ball rolling as far as I'm concerned. So I want to have the last episode for his review front and center and just watch it almost practically from the get-go. Okay, let's go for the history heroes thingamajig. I'll pop that in. Wow, I'm not sure if you guys are going to have I had like I said, I thought this one's a dandy, really hard. There's no way in hell. But some people, well, you guys know your stuff. Like, I mean, okay, this is good. Well, you're going to know as soon as you start seeing the clues. It's Navy, 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 left, right, and center. So I'll pop it in the banners, and I'm not altering the order of I didn't try to get fancy with going, okay, this one's the easiest one, because to be honest with you, I couldn't figure that out to save my life. Okay, so the first one here, I'm popping it up in the banner. There you go. And I'll pop it in the comments as well. Is hello, Hissy Cat Studio, great to see you. We're just usually listening to about a minute of my neuroses, and then after that we start getting into proper World War I gaming talk, hopefully. Yeah, how are you doing? You're up awfully early or up awfully late, I guess. That's the if that's the case. And I am going to say to you guys that I'll show. Well, might as well show it to you now, since you just saw the first banner. I'll read it out for the comments. On the 21st June 1919, I ordered the scuttling of 74 German ships to keep them from the British. So who am I? And remember, you just get 1 point for even guessing. I did mention to Charles Latora for sure that I had picked up some mob. I think I mentioned it last week and showed them quickly in the box there last week that, okay, it's early. Okay. Meandering Mike says, I don't know much about naval history. Neither do I. Okay, I'll give. Well, anyways, I'm going to pop on another. I'm going to give you guys another clue and whatever. It's the number 2, and I'll show you the plane that I've been working on. Like I said, I'm going to go back to the hobby store. I want to pick up that tank. But you guys, for sure. I mean, the Not Jay Show and the Hissy Cat Builds channel, well as you, Hissy Cat Studio, obviously. Really motivated me to finally go, let's go and finally actually get a model and actually do it for freaking once. And it's been a great learning experience. I'm calling it my practice plane. Meandering Mike says, Admiral Von Flotilla. Well, you get a point for it. Boy, wouldn't that be an interesting little name for like a comical or whatever here. Almost like a Hollandspieler type thing. Here's your second one. So you're wrong, Meandering Mike. You got the rank wrong. I was a German. What did I say that? No, you got it right. I thought I saw General there. And General aren't even part of the Navy, aren't there? So he didn't talk to me about not knowing Navy. Jeepers jumping. Hissy Cat Studio, awesome. I was a German admiral in charge of the intern German Navy's fleet at Scapa Flow. So there you go. Yeah, I'm going to pick up. So I did a practice plane, and the first thing I learned about to clue into, and I don't know why I didn't do that in the first place. And I knew. I mean, it's not like I'm brand new at this. I assembled the whole plane, then started painting it. Maybe that's okay for a monoplane, but not for a biplane, for crying out loud. So it's been a flippin' nightmare to try to get underneath all these freaking things. And I'm like, you know what? It's a practice plane, Chris. Just whatever. Just have some fun. I'll show you very quickly, but then I want to get on to the good stuff. I screwed up the first decal there I did for the tail wing, so I'm going to have to start. I'm doing it by hand. The tail thing, but I did put these dudes on. You're, I guess, supposed to have them on further on and whatever, but I didn't want to screw with the flaps. Everything's Art Deco paint. Charles Latora, Admiral Von Rubber Booten. Awesome. I like that one. Well, you're getting a point. That's for sure. So yeah, and I just, like I said, it's all Art Deco paint. Lots of antique white and jade green and celery green and copper and muted gold and all kinds of nonsense, but just having fun, just learning. That's it. And like I said, Meandering Mike laughs. You're darn right. That was a good one. Yeah. So like I said, I'm just learning, but I wouldn't mind going and grab another $6 model there as well. Hissy Cat Studio. Yep. A number of my models have been practiced up to this point. And after watching you, I'm going to start on that Matilda. Now, by the way, guys, Charles Latora looks good. Thank you. By the way, guys, is it not true? Was there not a World War I version of a Matilda tank? Am I wrong about that? Anyways, Hissy Cat Studio, it's looking good, boss. Thank you. Yeah, what was I going to say? So obviously the tank should be a heck of a lot easier than a freaking biplane. I thought there was a Matilda World War I tank, if I'm not mistaken, because when I was on the Magister Militum website before they closed down, unless they find a new buyer, but I'm not taking on, I'm not betting my house on that. I didn't notice, but they had a bunch of really tiny World War I planes. On a side note, Charles Latora, we're gonna have to talk about that later. I don't know if you saw my pretend reconnaissance photo of my game board that I pretended, a Russian reconnaissance plane was taking a picture of my game board. That was just for fun. That was on my community tab. But I'm not saying that thing, but I want to get into the concept of air superiority, and I want to go away from the Welktrieg thing. I want to start using it in combat. Looking at it in parallel the way he does the naval combat kind of thing. And like you get like you can do 3 things per month kind of thing. So I was trying to look at it that way. Okay, thank you, Meandering Mike. Matilda was designed 1935. What in the world am I thinking of then? I thought there was, wasn't it, or I don't know. Anyway, I'm obviously wrong. So here we go. We're going to give you the third clue. Did I pop it in the, no, I don't think I did pop it in the comments, did I? Yes, I did. Okay. And now I'm going to go off to the board game of the week, which is really cool. It's from Hexasim. You guys have probably seen it. but it brought me off onto other things. And one of them is going to be a picture of somebody, and it's a good picture. I've seen some pictures of a lot of the Welktrieg maps up on on people's walls and so on and so forth. But this one last night, when I was staring at it, there's so many emotions going through me. It wasn't funny. I mean, envy, admiration, awe, probably a pang of jealousy, put me in my place type of a feeling. It's just like so many things. I was just like, this guy's got it together kind of stuff. And it was also, I'll show you some, an AAR that was going on by Jackson Champer, I think, who's was one of the developers and one of the heavy hitters for Weltkrieg, and is still in there doing the comments and whatnot. But he was playing with his sister, brother, and somebody else. I think they were doing the 4-person thing, grand campaign thing. So we're going to go to their lickety split. So here's another one. Within 5 hours, over 400,000 tons of modern warships were sunk. And I didn't put that in the banners, so I'll pop that one in there so you guys see that one as well. Now we're going to go to the BGG thing, so I can show you that. So and we'll go to the Hexasim game. Hold on. Like I said, that's another thing I'm starting to clue into about not trying to get too fancy, because I'm not good at this. And I found like the only videos I watch are of myself are the live stream ones, so I can see what the hell I'm doing. And afterwards, and like last week, it was like, Jesus Murphy, man. I would say a good 50% of it was me spending time going, click, no, not yet. And I'm like, what the hell? Just got like, keep the links in one spot, keep the pictures in another spot, stop trying to go back and forth, like, that type of thing. History Cat Studio, a picture that has so many emotions running through. You did find it on Pornhub. I find many things on that place. But I'll tell you where I go for my porn, if you want to call it that, is I'll say this on a side note, Hissy Cat Studio. I'm going to show you a website later on that I went to that I found this week called the Great War Forum. And I'm not kidding you. I was a little, at one point I was feeling a little embarrassed or ashamed to say this, but I wept when I saw this website. Just the amount of material that was waiting for me. I'm trying not even think about it right now. It's just, there's so many members there that are just so into World War I. It's just spectacular. Yeah, let's go to the website so I don't look, I don't think, not that website, because I'll get teary-eyed. So I want to go to show you this here. So hold on. No, I'm toast, Hissy. I am toast beyond belief. So here we go. Share the screen. And this one. And there. All right. So this one is the random one I found this week. It's Marne 1918. And what I thought was pretty darn cool was I didn't clue in till it was 1918 until last night. I was reading up a little bit on the game and taking a look here. Let's go to the images and stuff. And then I was like, guy keeps talking about Ludendorff and all this weird other stuff. And I was like, what the hell is he doing? Like, and then I looked at the title afterwards. I'm like, okay, now it's making sense. But it looks really nice. There's a wonderful YouTube. I wish I could have contacted the. Well, look at that. It looks really nice. I don't know if you guys like that type of pretend elevated look to the terrain stuff. But oh my gosh, sorry, I've got to turn off the banner so you guys can see better. Hold on. Banner. Hi, there we go. And Meandering Mike, the Germans scuttled their fleet, but I have no idea who would be in charge. I know. Sorry, I'll get back to that again, and let's take a quickie look. But there's a video here in the link. It was wonderful. It's only about 3.5 minutes. I just love the way the guy did the background music and everything, and it just looks. Look at that. It's a nice looking map. I love seeing, I don't know about you guys, I just love seeing people's pictures on counters. Just so cool. And you guys know way more about Hexasim than I do. But anyways, that was the, I wanted to show you that. But now we can go to what I really wanted to show you. If I can remember how to get to it. Hold on, I got to take a look at that. I'm not looking at the comments. Yes, Meandering Mike says, Hissycat Studios, I was just trying to mess with your boss. Sorry, no worries, Hissy, because I'll get right back on you. Meandering Mike, and let's be honest, the amount of silly nonsense shenanigans that I've pulled on other whatevers, you can full on go nuts. Meandering Mike, that is a nice looking map. It is. So I guess you're one of those people that likes maybe the raised little bits. Meandering Mike, I have a number of Hexasim titles, but I've never heard of this one. Oh, cool then. So anyways, we're going to show you the picture. So I go to here to the forums, and is it the setting it all together? No. That's it. So this is the Jackson Champer guy. Unfortunately, all his pictures are not there anymore. But if you guys wanted to go and take a look at this, the 4-player, it's a big, it's impressive. I was just looking to see where, like, if I was paralleling any parts of their stuff in the Eastern Front. Didn't look like it. Hold on, I'm not doing a very good job here. Manny Mike says some 3D effects look bad. That map looked okay. But yeah, I'd be interested to see what you think of. And I'm a huge fan of Joe Youst. I'm not sure if he did them. But there's some decision games folio ones. Can't remember if it's the Argonne one or whatever. There's or Bastogne, or I think it's the Bastogne one. I wasn't a big fan of the look to that one, and there's also maybe one of the World War I ones. It had that 3D-ish. I don't know. It just, that one looked good, like you were saying. I like that one, but there was some of them I was like, I don't know. Maybe it was the color combos or something. I don't know. Okay, so you guys can see that. Why the hell am I? It's okay to see me tiny, I guess. Hold on. I just liked it for you guys to see the full on. And then let's go back to the grand campaign, I do believe. Is it images? Nope. Forums. Map surface. Aha! This is the picture I wanted you guys to see. Look at this thing. Holy smokes. This is just I mean, come on, man. Like, I'm even thinking that must be his bed. Good person. Look at that, eh? Isn't that incredible? Anyways, that's it. I just wanted you to see that, and I'm going to stop sharing that, and then actually I can get rid of that. Hold on, because the next bits are just not whatevers. Okay, so here we are. We're back to this bit. I'll give you another clue. And this one is: the British saved a few ships and killed 9 Germans, the last German war deaths of World War I. And I guess it's not looking good, that any of us are going to get the answer. I'll pop it in the banners as well. Until I get to the answer part. Okay, I'm going to present my slide screen. It's not much this week, guys. Had a lot of stuff on my plate, as you knew. Number 38. I'm going to add that to the stream. And I'm going to turn me into, hold on. I want to make sure that you guys see it all and get rid of me. All righty. So that's the map. I just brought this map up because, hold on, I'm trying to, oh yeah, let's go to and I'll get rid of the banners, the banner for now. So the reason why I brought this map up is because I was getting reminded, last week that when I was listening to one of my radio shows that, oh yeah, by the way, Austria-Hungary, at this date, 1914, declared war on Serbia. And then last week, I guess it was Thursday or whatever, Rob sends me a message, and I thought he was being actually cheeky. I thought he was trying to test me. I didn't read because my head's in 1915 so badly right now. And he wrote, "Hey, do you know what happened on this date, 1914?" And so I thought he was being trying to test me. So I was like, blah, 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 about what had happened this week in 1915. And it was like, I can't tell you what a specific day, but it was like, I could tell you this, that, and the other thing, what happened this week. And then he's like, "No, you idiot." I said 1914. And it was Germany. Meandering Mike, Ferdinand was killed way back in June. Yeah, and it took him a flipping month to finally freaking declare war, man. And there was, I don't know about you, Meandering Mike, and others, they were saying that potentially if Austria-Hungary had reacted super quick right after the death, that they would have been able to keep a lot of the sentiment towards them, and it, maybe things would have gone. But I mean, we're welcome to the land of maybes. Anyways, I just brought this up. I'm not going to read out the whole things. You guys could do that for yourselves. But I just thought, look at all these steps that just went point, point, point. Where's Mike? He puts. Oh, I see what he's saying. Ferdinand was killed way back in June, and that should be number 1 rather than the 23rd of July. Well done. I like what you're saying. Well done. If that's what you were cluing into. Anyways, let's go to slide 2. So I brought this up because I'm actually finally got to this point, guys. I can't believe it. That I'm actually looking at the economic resources book in the Grand Campaign thing. And why is that? Because, well, we'll get to it in a minute, hopefully a little bit when we start talking about the artillery. It's because I wanted to start planning for January 1915 for everybody, like, getting, and I wanted to find out, like, how much do things cost? Like, how long does it take to make things, and so on and so forth. Then it got into the artillery. Then it to find out the difference between artillery and siege artillery. And then Meandering Mike, number 0, Archduke Ferdinand killed. Perfect. I was, I was even thinking number 0 would have been a better number for it for sure. And then it started talking about rail-based units, and I didn't know anything about rail-based units, and so on and so forth. Then it said, and then I went off to the Grand Campaign book, and then started looking into, just little bits. Like I said, I'm just starting to learn about factories and so on and so forth. And then it said, please look up the production points chart. And I'm like, where the hell is the production points chart? And then I went, oh my God, you finally have made it, Chris. June 28th, typo. Cool. Oh my God, Rob, Mike, that's neat that you found one, man. Let's go back to it. Where did you see this? Where did you see? Darn it, I can't see where it was. Around here somewhere. Oh, darn it, I can't see it. But anyways, I made the typo. Okay. Okay. Okay, there we go. Anyway, so I was like, wow, I finally made it. I can remember. Anyway, yeah. So here's the, oh, darn it. I'm sorry, guys, if you guys can't read that, or if if it's too small. But that's just to show you that that's where it's starting off. That is page 2. And then I also wanted to show you what one of the sheets look like. You can't get this on the, you can't go to the, like, you actually have to buy the physical product to get these documents here. So that's just one thing, but you're going to see one thing in a minute. Like, so there's a sheet for factories, personnel centers, resource centers, all that stuff. But you can see, like, some nations, for example, Bulgaria, for example, they're so tiny that everything fits onto one. I don't know about you, but it to me, that's kind of always reminds me of, doesn't that kind of remind you of the old Starfleet battles sheets? You know what I mean? In a way, like, you just need almost like the picture of the your spaceship with where all the shields are and everything. It just kind of reminds me of that. And there's the production cost chart, which I was like, this to me is like the holy grail thing. I finally got to take a look at this. I don't understand the full-on thing, but one thing I did want to find out about in the rules, Meandering Mike, the SFB SSDs. What in the hell is that? Yep, don't know what you're talking about, but I'm not good at this stuff. Anyway, so I did find out that siege, you can still make siege artillery units, I guess. I didn't know if you were able to, because the rules, they say at one point, 1915 kicks in, that siege, that artillery units can be used. Oh, thank you. HCCat builds, that is a cool chart. And Meandering Mike, Starfleet Battle ship system displays. Thank you. And I didn't. So, anyways, it's nice to know that you can now use a case come January. You can start attacking entrenched positions and so on and so forth with artillery. And yeah, there's all kinds of neato little. I'm not going to get into the nooks and crannies of the rules for artillery units, but I will say on one side thing when I was looking up ahead of the week, I don't know if I wrote it down on here, was that. What's the next slide? I don't know. Can't show you the next slide because if I did that, hold on. How do I get rid of remove it? Boink. There we go. If I showed you the next slide, it would be the picture, would be the answer. But it's getting to the point. I think I'll probably just have to show you the answer. What was it about the artillery, the siege artillery? Was that, which I'm going to have to learn. I'm not sure if that is a typo because it seems kind of weird. Do you guys not think this seems weird? I'm not sure if it's come January, but it could be come January. I've got it written down in one of my journals. Is that troops can now start using rough and worse terrain for resisting for helping retreat purposes, and I thought that was kind of interesting. But then later on, I'm not sure, it's in like 1916, it says woods and worse. So I don't, is it getting, I don't understand. Yeah, that's a whole level of I don't understand where he's going with the nuances of how woods is a more restrictive terrain later on, but the broken I can't use anymore, or rough I can't use anymore. Or no, hold on. I'm getting broken and rough mixed up. Okay, so he is going sliding backwards. Okay, I've answered my thing for myself. Oh my God. Okay. So that's it. I did want to also, there was one thing that did irritate me though, was in the Grand Campaign rules. Was it in the Grand Campaign rules? Yes, it was. Is there is a slight typo, and I'm like, guys, it really pissed me off. I'll see if I can bring it up for you guys, or where it was. It was about factories. So hold on, let's see if I can find it. Bear with me, guys. I hope you're going to bear with me. I got to go back to. I got to go back to the e-folio thingamajigs. And it was because he says that factories produce supply points, but then later on it says that they do production points. And I'm like, not to be rude here, but these rules are pretty, like, okay, granted, like a lot of people say, they're maybe not the most difficult to get into, but they're not the easiest as well. Okay, hold on. I'm going to, so you guys can, and hopefully it's not going to get too, Meandering Mike, broken should have just been called hills or hilly. Yep. Okay, I'm going to present share screen. Nope, I want that one, the window. Okay. Nope, Microsoft tab. There we go. So you guys can see that. Oops. And there, you guys can't see it, I hope. Can you not? You cannot. Can you see that, I hope? Hold on, I just want to see what you guys can see. I've been bouncing around all over the place. Hold on. No, I screwed up again. You know what? I'm just going to read it out if I can find it. But I don't need to read it out, actually. Let's just, let's go to the thing because I'm getting all whatevered. Here, I'll give you another freaking clue. That's what I'm going to do. Then we're going to go to Calendar because we're at 10:34, and I think his thing's 20 minutes. So what you guys are not having a good time with this one, are you? I'll give you, which I thought was a cool code. Our code for an immediate scuttle was paragraph 11, confirm. Meandering Mike, Captain Uberschief. No. Captain Crunch. Oh, I like it, especially due to the fact that Charles Latora was talking about cereals there earlier on, saying that he was going to go out because it was hot. He was going to have some cereal, and I've never heard of anybody mixing cereal before in my life, except when you've got like the leftover bits at the at the end of the box. It's like, okay, what the hell am I going to do with it? But he was having berry Cheerios and I think Frosted Flakes. I don't know about you guys, the same as Captain Crunch, Frosted Flakes and Captain Crunch. Spell that crunch with a K. Is that Meandering Mike says that? I don't know. Yeah, I got to remember. You guys don't know what the hell, other people or whatever. I'm reading, and you may not be. Capitan Crunch. Meandering Mike says, Charles Latora, Don. And both those cereals are so like you don't even need milk for Christ's sakes. It's candy in a box, man. It's nuts, but it is good. Okay, so I'm going to give you the answer. That's just the way it goes. I think you guys are not going to. We'll go straight to the picture then. I think that's the best way to do it. So here's the answer. I'm going to just show you the pictures. I'm going to remove back to here, and then I have to pop on, and then we'll go to Callendale. Yeah, that makes sense. So what else? I'll tell you what I was up to last night. I popped on the Western Front map on the wall going up to my stairs for upstairs. And just before the live stream, I was popping on the front lines or the hexes for the Germans and everybody for April 1915. But and I'm going to use that, guys, for January 1915 and just go from there. No big deal. Like I said, I'm not playing the Western Front at any level of detail that I'm doing the Eastern Front with. There's no flipping way. And there's no worry. I'm not worried about that at all. Okay, so there we go. I'm just going to make sure that it's fairly large-ish. But anyways, like I said, you guys are the ones that motivated me to finally give it a shot about painting a model and stuff. I was like, wow, I love painting models, hate assembling them. That sucks. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a fan of that, but maybe it'll get easier over time. Like you said, Hissy, practice. You've got a bunch of them that you said you've been practicing on. So it's not like you obviously just jumped straight into it. Okay, so here's the answer, guys. Ludwig von Reuter, 1869 to 1943, on the 21st of June, 1919, ordered scuttling the 74 German ships to keep them from the British. I was a German admiral in charge of the intern German Navy's fleet at Scapa Flow. With 5 hours, over 400,000 tons of modern warships were sunk. Holy smokes, eh? And our code for immediate scuttle was at paragraph 11. Confirm. Did I do everyone? No, we achieved our plan by having agreed a secret flag signal signal months before. In Britain, I was a prisoner of war, and in Germany, I was a hero, having honored our navy. All right. And that's that. I'm back to here, and now we'll pop on the Callendale thing, which is going to be his very last episode. And it's more or less, like I said, it's about 20 minutes, and we're bang on. So that'll be perfect. I'll take a look at my notes. There's a few things I wanted to chit chat about, but I can do that at another time. I think there was a few. Like I mentioned, Hissy Cat Bill says I was about to guess Roto-Root. Really? Oh, you son of a bitch! That's the problem with me, Hissy. You don't need much of a lure for me. I'll jump out of the water and grab your line before you've even freaking. Oh yeah, I'm the easiest fish to catch. Okay, let's go here. Get rid of this guy, and then I'm going to go back to make sure that I've got. Oh, I did get rid of him entirely. You silly bugger. Okay, hold on. I'm going to go to live stream. I don't want to hit it. Oops. I'm hitting myself. Because I call my the thing that I want to show you guys every week of Callendale, I call it live stream. So I saw a live stream and I clicked live stream. Good Lord. Okay. So I'm going to now mute myself so we can hear it. I hope. Remember to remind me if you don't hear it. I mean, I'm not going to know. Yes. Oh my, well done. Man, like if you weren't so far ahead on the freaking history heroes thing, Meandering, Mike, I'd give you points for that. But you need those like a hole in the head. Okay.
Of 1918. This puts me in an interesting position. If I was playing this to win as the Germans, I think I would do nothing. I don't think I'd launch this attack. They win a marginal victory if they can last it out that long without surrendering, doing a little better than historically. Now, we're talking 10 turns. That's another 650. Are we doomed is the question. That's the first question. So I've got 3,900. Let's say 650 morale that they're going to pay. I've already paid this turn. 650 puts me... That's 10 months. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I'm going to be paying 11 months of that. So let's add another 65. That gets me up to 4615. 400 more. I'm not sure that the Allies can push it to that. I'm just not. However, it is an iffy thing. There's no guarantee that Germany would survive. I know I've got tons of U.S. units coming in. You can't really see them because of the lighting, but tons of U.S. units coming in this next period. They're going to take the brunt of the war. They can't get hurt in terms of national will, and they just will be pounding and attacking as much as possible. The whole goal of the end of the war will probably be to drive the Germans over the brink. The French can't really afford to attack because their morale is low, but the Brits and the Americans can just pound the Germans again and again out of supply attacks. It doesn't matter. We're just trying to cause casualties at this point. So maybe that 400 extra points can happen in casualties. 20 extra a turn would easily do it. I think that can be done for at least part of the period. I don't know if it can be done for the whole of it. So it would be a close run thing if I played for a no-risk option. But I'd rather see it over quickly, and I'd rather play it with the Germans trying to win the war. So then let's see if we have a chance with France. France has to get to 2,500 to be defeated. Now, Paris is not worth all that much, even if I take it. It's 3 centers. That's 45 points. And I think only 3 hex sides that are urban. 1, 2, 3, which is another 75. So we're looking at a little over 100 points there. What do we have for the French? We have 1,596. Let's just call it 1,600. Now, we have to get 900 points against the French. to do this. Say I take all of Paris. That's another 100. Still 800 points without taking the losses. I don't think I can win with the Germans. I just don't think it's possible at this point. Looking at the French demoralization. Now, do I know what the French demoralization levels are? I don't know. They're on the track. Either way, I'm going to play it out not for victory of the game, but I'm going to launch this big assault unit attack because it's what I want to do. But I also want to show how they work and see how they work and how effective they are at gaining ground. But I don't think the Germans have a chance other than by playing the waiting game. That's kind of boring. And again, I'm happy enough seeing it over. So I think it's about time to start. Germans have about one more assault unit on the board coming on this month. This is their time. Yes, they're getting a pile of troops over here in January and February. But I think I'm going to be launching the attack here in December. And it's a winter attack. Winter's got its kind of interesting problems. It's going to make it harder to follow up the attack. So maybe I want to hold off this month. I don't know. We'll see. And the Brits blow their full supply. First of all, finding a not entrenched yet hex. They slammed in from here using mobile attack. Now with Amiens surrounded, after shifting some troops around, they launched an attack. 24 points of armor, 2 of those big new improved tank units. It just didn't stand a chance. The total strength applied wasn't that great. The damage is 13-9. Again, not that great. But the strength before the lack of supply issue, and yeah, the Brits are out of supply again, was just amazing. 4 hexes of Brits with the extra 24 points, all the artillery kicking in. Just humongous. And of course, the French are trying to support still with their artillery. It looks to me like the Somme line is going to be broken fairly easily. I just don't see how to stop it. Not with that armor in there, because that seems to make it easier to cross rivers and stuff too. And it's going to be an ugly, ugly situation for the Germans where they're just losing ground. Now, if the Brits were concentrating this way, the German hopes on Paris would be dashed completely. But the Brits want to get the Belgians into the war. So, whatever. All right. Deeper into December. And the Germans chose not to attack yet. Not because of anything except they want the maximum supplies. They want to be able to push this attack as far and as long as they can after breaking the French lines. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it, though. When I start looking, I've got a lot of assault units. I can make a lot of little attacks, but they've got to be decent attacks. And I don't have that kind of force. I could conglomerate some force and make a couple of decent attacks. But that first turn surprise advantage all along the front, the thing I wanted to do with that is hit everywhere, break the line everywhere, and just send the French running and then begin hitting. But that's really just not possible. We'll see. Just realized my calculations about the Germans. I was saying, they're going to lose 20 a turn. Well, it's actually 20 a month. And, oh boy, they're certainly going to lose that many each month in addition to, this is no close thing. So there is no way they can win without making the assault. So the assault will happen. No question there. The Germans cannot hold out. They're under too much pressure already. I think the only way the Germans can win that way is a remarkably peaceable game, maybe with just artillery shellings and such not. So the German reaction to the situation? Well, we had all these Hindenburg line hexes. They pulled back, made the penetration by the English, or opened up the bulge a bit further, and fell back to these Hindenburg hexes, which theoretically should be facing this way. But, well, that doesn't really make a difference, and that's okay. The main infrastructure probably would be mobile enough. The turreted things and everything are able to scan better. But It feels a little weird because those probably shouldn't be that potent facing the direction they weren't built for. But anyway, trenches in this have all around facing. This is really iffy. They had to put a headquarters in kind of a dumb end run area to cover everything. Remember, it's winter still, so they do have to keep their headquarters on the line. They're pulling engineering units off the line because they lost one last turn. Those shouldn't even be there. They lost one due to a retreat result. They should just be piling them away, and I'll try to figure out where they all are, basically being sloppy. But this, opens up a wider area, more. That's where we kind of are. So the German was successful in a sense. Maybe a risky move, but I don't know. It seemed to work. So the Brits again turn against a perceived weakness in this extension. And again, the Germans get lucky. The Brits hit against it and are unable to budge it, even though they threw tanks and they ended up losing 4 tanks. These are not big, good attacks. They're piecing together units that they had in the area, looking for a weak spot and trying to do some damage here. They took like 11 points to 5 that they caused because they couldn't quite overwhelm the force even with the armor thrown in. Terrible die roll. They got a 1 on that. The Germans actually got a 6 coming back, which is why it was so bad for the Brits. Otherwise, nothing much happening. Germans just strengthening up where they lost troops. The French trying to figure out if they can launch an attack here. They've got some Americans that they positioned last turn, hoping to do it, but they just can't quite bring themselves to it, especially since I kind of foolishly or illegally or whatever made my roll here. I didn't set up the attack. I try to fly things kind of fast and loose when I'm playing these because I just can't concentrate on the whole board at once. And obviously, this is just one front, right? Imagine the whole thing. To be able to focus on it, you'd really need everybody. You'd need a bunch of players, a team playing where, one person's taking this front, or maybe 2 people taking this front, because it is tough per side. And then, the same on almost all the other fronts, because there's just so much shifting, so much little stuff to take care of. It would be a pain in the ass, but maybe a glorious one. Well, the Brits do manage to capture another hex and continue pinching. They can't get one of the key ones. They want to make it so the Germans can't get out, but it's getting closer and closer to the Germans not being able to get out. They're going to have to reinforce that. They're also getting their kind of last 12-5. This is the 5th turn of the season coming up. They got their last 12-5 here. That they're getting in the near future. They get some conversion ones or something. I got to look up the rules on that. I want to make my attack while it counts, but I also have to defend this if I'm going to keep going. This is really, really a hard timing situation that I wish I really had a feel for the game better so that I knew, I can hold out one more or whatever. I got a headquarters way out here. I can't resupply it because the rail net goes through Paris. I lost this part of the rail net. I got some real problems here on the German side, but I need to launch this attack. I need to create some more space so that I can live. I need to get my engineers down there to build rails once I do make any ground, if I do. I think things are hopeless for the Germans. I don't think they have a chance of winning the game, no matter what. Obviously, they don't if they stand still. But I do want to see how this offensive might work out. Again, though, I feel sort of like when I launch it, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing because I'm going to be launching it with so much less force than I'm used to hitting things with. Just spread out in so many different places, and it could fail massively. We'll see. Well, the German High Command thought that their Strasstruppen would do much, much better than they actually did. Took a hex of Paris. Got rebuffed here. Wherever they attacked here, they picked one hex, probably this one. No, this one where the artillery are centered. They made some successes. This didn't work. This was a failure. Way too weak to attack. But other places where they were successful, I think they bumped into this hex, but they failed down here trying to, well, actually, they didn't fail, but they took heavier losses than they dealt out trying to take Mulhouse. Or Mulhouse. Not a good situation for the Germans. They're pretty much doomed. They're up to 4,000, actually above that now, 4,020, 4,030 for their demoralization. They've only gotten the French up to 1,600 and something, 1,670. And where do the French go bad? Yeah, you got to look all this stuff up. The French have to get to 2,200 to hit economic collapse, 2,500 to lose. The Germans only have to get to 5,000 to lose. I just don't see a way out of this. I'll keep playing. But, you know, a little bit more care. I could have done better with the Germans. I really kind of just said, okay, I'm not going to put the effort in. And this is a game that definitely charges you when you try to get away without putting the effort in, as do a lot of games. You can't just look and say, I got a decent number of stacks there. Well, you could. You can kind of look at the height. You can say, well, I've got stronger troops on the Germans, whatever. That's what I've been doing with the Brits all along. Actually, I've been looking and saying, I don't feel too comfortable about this. Well, I didn't feel too comfortable with these German attacks either. Had I looked at the charts and considered them, some of them probably would have been automatic failures or very close to. But with the German assault troops, first turn of use, they're able to brush aside as though there was no trench. They're forced the retreats as though there's no trench on this one turn, which is why I did attacks all along the front. It's not going to happen again. Now their only use is where there are no trenches. They negate the retreat bonus for normal terrain. If and only if there are as many assault troops, and a 12-5 assault unit only has 4 strength points of assault troops in it, and you know those are the things that die first. Only if there's as many assault troops as there are opposing defenders. So it's going to be almost impossible to launch an attack from now on that has that assault troop bonus. And you know, really, where I gained here doesn't help me. Here barely does. I've got entrenchments on both sides. It's only this hex, which, you know, because I'm attacking 3 hexes to 1 where I can, their gains have not helped them much. And then over here, they might be able to launch something. But for the most part, yeah, that's no longer... I've still got an entrenchment there I think I've got to remove. All right, anyway, we'll see how the Allies come back at that. But this was a very painful half of a turn, because attacks are expensive in terms of mental ability. There's 2 calculators here for a reason. There probably should be a third one, because the way I use or maybe a fourth, the way I use the calculators is I have to add up, and I'm bad at counting. I'm fine at math, but it's hard for me to count, especially I've got a podcast on right now. You can't hear it. But I add up all the troops attacking, all the artillery attacking, because they pay different costs in supply. The third one would be all the attacking cav, or maybe foreign troops or something like that. Then I got to do the same for the defender, but they're only 1 hex, so I can usually kind of hold those numbers in my head. But when, you know, I'm looking at 3 or 4 hexes, or even just 2, it's tough for me to keep my numbers in my head. And then do the division in my head that I need to figure out how much supply I need. And then I have to kind of fudge around and figure out, oh, shit. If I had calculated this out beforehand, I would have transferred supplies and everything. As I say, I play fast and loose. I don't see any way to play this game otherwise. I mean, this game would be, to me, a mental counting and arithmetic nightmare. Just dealing with the supply side of it during an assault, rather than, you know, in addition to the nightmare of shifting counters around if you really wanted to get your attacks and defenses to be aligned properly. And now the English conduct a number of attritional attacks, at least in essence, one against this hex, One here that they gained the hex, and here that they gained the hex, I think. Oh, no, wait. No, just the two. One here that they didn't, and one here where they did. The Germans moved up here because they could get more force on the line rather than the gap that they had left. But by being there, they forced the English to kind of say, well, what the hell? I'm not going to let you shorten your line and then dig in there. I'm going to knock you out of there. The English probably didn't really want to advance, but they did anyway, because their goal at this point is just wreck the Germans. They've given up on that push for Belgium, and instead they're trying to help the French after this assault. The U.S. troops have been thrown into Paris in a defense. Remember, I can put like 8 divisions on the line. Well, I only have 2, or 3 or something. They're all on the line. And again, I don't know. If Paris is threatened this much, I don't see any problem with throwing them on the line. So it feels to me like the game doesn't take the political aspects into account so much, but the entire U.S. Army is currently on the line, spread out under French command, which I don't think fits very well. Anyway, we move on. All right. Well, here we are at essentially the end of 1917. I've started 7th turn of December, started moving some of the Germans. Last night, I had to walk away from it because I knew I would quit. After a night's looking at it again, and after a night's rest, and then doing some stuff to try to get back into my job, it's a hopeless situation. It really is. The Germans cannot launch an attack that can possibly do any damage in Paris. Is there any possibility of them generating an attack anywhere along the French line? My feeling is no. If I had gotten significant punch-throughs where I was, facing French forces that no longer were entrenched, had the French on the run in a number of places, but this hex is not a trench. This one can't be. But I just cannot find an attack of sufficient size to kind of break through and get any ground. And my morale is broken at this point. As a German player, if I were playing this 2-player, this would be the point where I would say I have absolutely no chance. So let's look. I'm at 4,000, which means I think another 1,000 points for the Germans to fail. For the French, I'm at 1,600, which I think I have to double to send them over. I have to do another 900 to the French. The Germans lose 65 a month. I'm going to have trouble doing that kind of damage to the French. I just do not have the resources. At this point, I feel like I had bet all my remaining force on this holding of Paris. I really thought that was my only chance, and I'm going to call it here. These assault troops are not effective if they're facing trench lines. They're effective for one turn, and that turn, France had too much strength everywhere along the line for me to break it. I got nothing like the historical result here in terms of the Germans breaking through the French. The French have not been taxed enough. They have given up a large swath of the line. The Brits hold up to here. Okay? This is the French side. I've got to call it here. And I'm just not terribly interested in seeing the rest of it. I'm not going to devote another week. I don't have the energy to get it done in a week. I think I'm going to be dragging my feet and really hating playing this out. And I don't want to do that. So I'm going to call it here.
All right, so that's it. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that. The next episode will be Callendale doing his review. Thanks a lot, guys. So super glad to see you. Hope you have a great remainder of your weekend and whatnot. I'm like I said, I'm actually we have a long weekend this week, which will be which is nice. And Hoser House Rules asked me if I could do an activation or a video for my activation system that I use for my miniatures. So I was like, hey, why not? Meandering my Callendale reached his demoralization level. Oh, that's well done. God, you're on the freaking ball today, man. And you know what? I was thinking he mentioned why don't you just do a 2x2 of your activation system? And I was thinking, wait a minute. Rather than me maybe doing the 15mm things, I've never tried my activation. Trust me, I'm gonna let you go. Activation system with. I've only ever done it with my biblical things. But I was thinking, wait a minute, maybe I'll actually do it with my little 2mm ish 3D painted or 3D printed dudes, and see if I can do it with that. It shouldn't matter. Or I could even use these. Remember those generic risk type things that I wanted to use for just like a Civil War thing or Napoleonics or whatever the hell you wanted to do. I don't know what to do. Whatever. It's just like a cheap, quick way to play miniatures type of a game. Anyways, that's it. I hope you guys have a great time. Super fantastic to see you. Okay, thanks a lot. Have a great one. Bye.